For the next speech, please welcome Dr. Faleh Sulaiman, Chief Executive Officer of National Company of Mechanical Systems.
Today, I feel a bit awkward. I hear a lot of petroleum engineering, I hear a lot of chemical engineering, process engineering, and no mention of mechanical engineering. Now, previously, there were two types of engineers: civil engineers and military engineers or mechanical engineers. They build the targets, we destroy them. It was that simple. Now life is complicated. We have petroleum engineers, we have chemical engineers. They have the innovations, as Umar said, but I think we do have also the same. Now, what Musa'ad said is what to do, and what Umar said is how to do it. I will say a little bit on why we want to do it. Now, we're in good shape. Oil prices are good, the economy is thriving, but you've seen the oscillations of the oil prices. We cannot have a sustained development based on that. It's a depleting resource. We cannot have sustainable growth based on that. Maybe there's something else. What to do? And I think the thing to do is to move into a knowledge-based economy. It's not a buzzword. It's an imperative that we have to carry. It's an obligation that we have to do. Why? Well, first of all, we don't have any other alternative. Secondly, we have youth. We're a very youthful society. 30% of all Arabs are below 15, including me. Well, the unemployment is so high, it's scary. In 2020, the Arab world has to create another 100 million jobs. So how are we going to do it? Whatever type of development we do is not going to be enough. Now we have a chance. All the governments in the Gulf region have plans for that. We have to diversify economy. Money is being pumped now into science and technology. Major companies like Aramco is leading the path in showing the future. They know, and they've been telling us, we need to leapfrog technology developments. We cannot just move to developments. We need to leapfrog. And there are many things that Umar said that are right on the mark. Now, the thing is, what have we done the last 3-4 years? Well, we developed lots of patents, and we've shown that in few years we can go from nil to rivaling universities like MIT. KFUPM, in 4 years, developed patents that are now over 200. I left the university, so I'm not keeping track, but I think this is the level at which the country is moving. The expenditure on R&D from the government side is rising. All the Arab countries are spending anywhere from 0.1 to 1% and less, while the average in the world is more than 2.5. Number of researchers is low. We have the asset, but we're burning the asset. What we're doing is we're taking our human resources, and instead of having them as bright chemical engineers or maybe mechanical engineers or doctors, we have them do the lower jobs. Why? Because we don't have the infrastructures of universities. Now we're moving in this direction. We're moving so fast that the university developments are not keeping track. So in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, there is about 70,000 students abroad. Why? Because we think this is the right thing to do for the future. Now, there are two messages here. One, to the national companies. Aramco, with all respect to others, is leading that path, and they're way ahead of everybody else in identifying what needs to be done. We have mega projects in all aspects of technology. One simple aspect is water. We need water. We would probably die if we don't have the desalination plants. We have no technologies in water. That does not make sense. We have not developed technologies in oil or gas. Very little. I'm not saying we did not do anything, but not as much as we need to. And also in the petrochemicals. So this is a direction that's very important for us to move in. We need to take that pull of the mega projects and make good use of it. And for those national companies who want to be part of this environment, they need to prove that they want to invest in this environment, and they want to stay here, and they want to nurture talents in the Gulf region. And some of them are doing that. What was the result? Well, an example is the Han Techno Valley, which was mentioned by Brother Omar. In the Han Techno Valley, we have lots of major companies. I'm not going to name them, but we have major companies that have invested, and with this investment, the returns are becoming very high. Some of them are doubling the businesses inside Saudi Arabia. And I'm sure that they will do even more. And they're using Saudi talents there. And I think those talents are going to stay in Saudi Arabia and serve their businesses much better than if they bring expats for a few years. Now, what I'm saying is that the companies, the major companies, the government has to utilize this pool. It's a window which is not going to stay forever. Now, on the other hand, the major companies also need to realize this. And the sooner they do, the sooner they can become partners. The nation, the Gulf nation, the Arab nation, the Saudi people, the Saudi government is so eager to have a technology developed because it will be the first thing. Arabs are very good. Once they see something successful, you will see the next one and the next one, etc. And as in the techno valleys, one techno valley rose up, then the other universities got the picture, they started. Same thing for technologies. We need to move forward. Now, do we have a clear path? Is it easy? Is it simple? It's far from being that. It's very difficult, very complicated, and very challenging. And the reason for that, although there is a big push for it from all sides, we have a heritage, bureaucracy. You could probably kill a project because of this bureaucracy. I think bureaucracy is one reason why events cannot take place on one side. A simple one bureaucracy of visas, for example. Now, look at that and multiply. These bureaucracies span the environment, the total environment of R&D and R&T and innovation. Now, that needs to be taken care of, and I think it has to be taken care of by the leadership, and it's not difficult. One thing also that I think is very important is to have a National Science and Technology Council. It's very important to put clear objectives. When Kennedy in 1960-something said, we will put a man in the moon. That was an objective. That was a technological objective. It was realized in 10 years. Malaysia and others have done the same. Korea has done that. India, Mexico. People have shown that path. And I think it's not difficult for us to realize that path and know what is special for us and follow that. I don't want to spend a lot of time. I was cautioned by Abdul Jalil to give him time, so I'm going to give that time for him. Thank you very much.